Good evening. Is this on?
I will make sure it's going.
Good evening.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. As you all remember, I was here at the last board meeting. I spoke at that meeting to tell you that of the false and misleading assurances that this district gave to all parents about the repeal of Ordinance 3149, the Child Sex Offender Protection Law in Fullerton, that my wife Susan and I spearheaded back in 2010. I told them that your district's message, that a state law, and this is a notice that I gave to Dr. Pletka, an email, that the Fulton law the state law does not do the same thing that the Fulton law did. To make that statement is blatantly false. In fact, it was precisely that the state law known as Jessica's Law, passed in November 2006, had no criminal penalties attached to it, that it was indeed necessary to pass our Fulton law to get protection from pedophiles for our children. Please let me know in writing, this is what I said to Dr. Pletka again, when you will correct this error and send out another concurrent voice and email message to all parents in the FSD community to properly inform them of the facts in this matter. Dr. Pletka's response to me was as follows. Thank you for bringing this issue forward pertaining to changes in Megan's law. That was so difficult to read for Dr. Pletka because the issue that I brought forward had to do with our law and Jessica's law. Megan's law has absolutely nothing to do with the topic. You go on to say that you talked about Megan's law with your attorney. Well, I hope that was a nice conversation because Megan's law has to do with the registry of sex offenders. It has nothing to do with the restrictions of where they can live within 2,000 feet of a school park. So your assurances were frightening. That you put out an announcement that was false. I bring to you the evidence that it's false. And then you respond to me with another blatant error. Do you care at all about the safety of our children, any one of you? By the way, Chris Thompson on the board also sent me a letter, also stating that he's aware of talking about Megan's law. It's not Megan's law, Chris. So both a board member and the board and the superintendent have no idea what they're talking about. And you put out nothing. I asked you in my letter to you, I said, please allow us to look at what you're going to put out. What did you put out? You put out, oh, we're going to give you some additional information. Go to such and such a site. And what does the site go to? You go to the site, and your site then puts you to another site. And it's about an LA Times article about how the corrections department is no longer enforcing Jessica's law. And that's the only thing you said. It's not additional information. You put out false information, and you still have not responded. And shame on you, sir. How much do you make, sir? Do you care? I just spent an hour and a half waiting for you to get through. You're patting all of yourselves on the back for awards. This shows that you have no clue of what you're doing and apparently could care less. What are you going to do about it? I want a real message to go out, not something that says, go look at this. The first time you put out the message directly to the people, you didn't say, go look somewhere else and then give false information again. You haven't clarified anything that's clear. You don't know what you're talking about on this extremely important subject.
I got a question, Barry.
Thank you.
If you're willing to answer it. What in our original robocall was inaccurate?
I'll read it to you.
We don't need to read the whole
I know.
robocall.
All right,
Just
you asked the question.
read what was inaccurate.
Well,
Excuse me.
It's a factual question about.
I'm going to that's what I'm
Yeah,
going to
all right.
ask him. Please don't read the whole thing. Just pick out
It's-
the part you don't like.
You know, it's about 30 words, 40 words long. It's not that long.
So let him read it.
So to get the whole message, you have to read the whole thing. Fulton School District is aware of the repeal of the Fulton City Council of municipal codes regarding sex offender residency and other similar restrictions. The district superintendent has been in discussion with and will continue to work with the interim city manager on the implications of this change in the city code. Meanwhile, please be aware that state law, which you seem to think was Megan's law, which it wasn't, remains in place, which includes resident restrictions and prohibiting sex offenders from residing within 2,000 feet of any public or private school. or park virtually irregularly gathered. There is no change in the enforcement of these laws. Additional information can be found on the district and city's websites. That is blatantly false.
What's false?
There's no change in the enforcement. By getting rid of the law, there is no enforcement anymore in Fullerton. That was the purpose of the law. Jessica's law had no teeth. It had no penalties.
Just informational, isn't the reason the city repealed it is because their laws and their claim was it was against state law? That the city's law was against state law?
No, absolutely not.
I'm not understanding what was
If
in
you
there.
want to give me time, I can explain that.
But by the way, you make it, you can get this on film, Joe, if you like, you make it joyous to figure out everything I can to prove why you're full of crap. If you just try, now I'm gonna finish, I'm gonna finish. If you just
If he wants to make
try,
a fool himself, let him go ahead.
yeah, Barry, I learned from the master. If you just try to
This is a
ask
bad try
for
to deafen me one
clarification.
time. You are.
Here, keep it
You're a
going.
piece of work is what you are.
You're more than that, sir.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk to you outside.
Yeah, I'm sure you like to try to decorate again.
Superintendent's report is next. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe, I forgot.
Yeah, that's the second time you tried to prevent me from speaking with a completed card.
God, you know,
let's
it's
have some-
nothing personal,
That's
it's
okay.
just sort of exciting.
All right,
news.
well, Chris, I want to try to be a little more direct to your question, because it's a fair question. This district had put out a text message district-wide assuring parents that, hey, we've lost the local ordinance at the local level, but rest assured that the state ordinance that is passed by the legislature is still in place. Well, that is not necessarily the truth, because your second follow-up message that went out to everyone referring to your website as an assurance that we're still okay, when in fact, the article that was referenced by the LA Times in your link clearly states that the state has actually repealed some of the enforcement provisions of the original state law, meaning that there's even less protection in place at the state level than there was a couple of years ago. The sad reality about this is Mr. Levinson had worked very hard to get a local ordinance passed that would pass muster. The city attorney with the city of Fullerton, with city staff and city council, all worked continually together to pass this. It remained on the books for several years, and someone came along and tried to sue and threatened the city with a lawsuit. But the type of ordinance that Barry had written with the specific language that Barry has in his specific ordinance has never been adjudicated or challenged in a court of law. What is being challenged and has been successfully challenged in a court of law has language much weaker and far more overreaching. Barry's ordinance was specifically targeted to withstand muster and to withstand a challenge, and it has not been defended. And so what the school district has done is it's put out a sense of assurance to the parents that we can still rely on a state law. When in fact what we direct parents to is confirmation of what Barry's trying to tell you, and that the provisions of the enforcement of the state law are continually being weakened. Therefore, it's the word I'm trying to find is it's incumbent on you to, hey, say, wait a minute, first of all, let's get the name of the law straight. Second of all, if the state law is being weakened, then maybe we ought to bolster a local one that's stronger. What has been exemplified by the behavior and by the actions of the district is that the attorneys don't even know the names of the laws that they're dealing with, or that you're quit kicking this because you don't care. And that what you're telling people is that everything is okay, we've got laws in place that are protecting our children, when in fact those laws have actually been weakened. In the presence of Barry's law being removed, now there's pretty much no penalties for someone, unless they're on parole, to be near these kids. So what we've asked, and Barry had asked, is that you please look into this, and it's clear that you didn't because you got the names wrong, your lawyers got the names wrong. If I had a lawyer that I was paying a lot of money to get straight information out of laws, and they gave me the wrong laws, and you put out that information that tells me that none of you were paying attention. So I would respectfully ask that you look into what Mr. Levinson is saying. All personal issues aside, he's here not for an ego trip, he's here for the protection of the children, and I am too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. God bless you.
Bless you.